Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your man, Joshua Pondexter. We're live. Hey, we're new trying to build our channel. We ask that you like, subscribe, share, comment on these topics that we're talking about. Most of them are financial, mixed with some travel. So we're building this show, building this brand, by trade. We financial advisor, business consultant. So we just want to add something to the ether here that's beneficial, that can help you move your financial position forward smartly. And so these are the things that we talk about. I've been talking about them for 3 decades. So finally came over to do some live stuff on YouTube. And hey, been enjoying it thus far. Really trying to get those subscriptions up. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers minimum, so we can get this ball rolling. And please help us get there. Share, like, subscribe, comment, hit your notifications. Currently now we've just been going live on Wednesday, but we're going to do more days of going live, more financial topics. If there's some financial topics that you want to hear me talk about or want some more in-depth information on, just go ahead and put it down in the comment, right? Once again, we've been doing this for 3 decades. We've been in the life insurance industry, the investment industry, the mortgage industry, business. So we have a plethora of information and knowledge, and how to move around in the business space and be successful, right? How to make money, because that's the definition of a business. You must have a profit intent. So that's what we're here. One of the things is this is a second review on a topic. Is the American dollar done? Right? Is it over? What should we do? Should we stick our heads in the sand, or should we move accordingly? Right? This is an international market. Everything is international. Travel, living, dating, money, religion, everything is international. So if you just a local person, just got your head in your local space, you better kind of look around, because that's where most Americans are. We just kind of stick our head in the sand and get our news from American sources. Now with this internet, you can get news from all over the globe and get different perspective and see what's going on. So this this video I'm about to show you kind of talk to, from an American perspective, what's going on in the global financial markets, right? So we're going to
The most interesting outcome of the 3-day summit between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping got limited media attention. Describing their talks, Putin said, "We are in favor of using the Chinese yuan for settlements between Russia and the countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America." So, the world's second largest economy and its largest energy exporter are together actively trying to dent the dollar's dominance as the anchor of the international financial system. Will they succeed? The dollar is America's last surviving superpower. It gives Washington unrivaled economic and political muscle. It can slap sanctions on countries unilaterally, which frees that country out of large parts of the world economy. And Washington can spend freely, certain that its debt will be bought up by the rest of the world. The war against Ukraine, combined with Washington's increasingly confrontational approach to China, have created a perfect storm in which both Russia and China are accelerating efforts to diversify away from the dollar. Their central banks are keeping less of their reserves in dollars, and most trade between them is being settled in the yuan. They are also making efforts to get other countries to follow suit. The Biden administration has handled the economic war against Russia extremely effectively by building a coalition of almost all the world's advanced economies. That makes it hard to escape from the dollar into other highly valued stable currencies like the euro or the pound or the Canadian dollar, because those countries are also warring with Russia. What might have been a sharper turning point for the dollar's role was Donald Trump's decision in May 2018 to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal. The European Union was strenuously opposed to this move, but it watched as the dollar's dominance meant that Iran was immediately excluded from the world economy. Jean-Claude Juncker, then president of the European Commission, proposed enhancing the euro's role internationally to shield the continent from what he called selfish unilateralism. The Commission outlined a path to achieve this. It hasn't happened. There remain too many fundamental doubts about the future of the euro itself. Dollar dominance is firmly entrenched for many good reasons. A globalized economy needs a single currency for ease and efficiency. The dollar is stable. You can buy and sell it anytime, and it's governed largely by the market and not the whims of a government. That's why China's efforts to expand the yuan's role internationally have not worked. Ironically, if Xi Jinping wanted to cause the greatest pain to America, he would liberalize his financial sector and make the yuan a true competitor to the dollar. But that would take him in the direction of markets and openness that is the opposite of his current domestic goals. All that said, Washington's weaponizing of the dollar over the last decade has led many important countries to search for ways to make sure that they do not become the next Russia. The numbers are revealing. The share of dollars in global central bank reserves has dropped from roughly 70% 20 years ago to less than 60% today and falling steadily. The Europeans and the Chinese are trying to build international payment systems outside the dollar-dominated SWIFT. Saudi Arabia has flirted with the idea of pricing its oil in yuan. India is settling most of its oil purchases from Russia in non-dollar currencies. Digital currencies might be another alternative, and in fact, China's central bank has created one. All of these alternatives add costs. But the last few years should have taught us that increasingly nations are willing to pay a price when they want political goals to trump economic ones. We keep searching for the single replacement for the dollar, and there will not be one.
No.
But could the currency suffer weakness by 1,000 cuts? That seems a more likely scenario. The author and investor Ruchir Sharma points out, right now, for the first time in my memory, we have an international financial crisis in which the dollar has been weakening rather than strengthening. I wonder if this is a sign of things to come. If it is, Americans should worry. I spoke last week about the bad geopolitical habits Washington has developed because of its unrivaled unipolar status. It's even more true economically. America's politicians have gotten very used to spending seemingly without any concern about deficits. Public debt in America has risen almost fivefold, from roughly $6.5 trillion 20 years ago to $31.5 trillion today. The Fed has solved a series of financial crises by massively expanding its balance sheet, almost 12-fold, from around $730 billion 20 years ago to about $8.7 trillion today. All of this only works because of the dollar's unique status. If that were to wane, America will face a reckoning like none before. Here's my take.
Listen up. Listen up, people. Hey, I'm telling you, this is Fareed, whatever the young man name is on CNN. He always do a great job analyzing things. So he's spot on. It's not the end. The American dollar's not done. Is it weak? Well, you call it weak, just less buying power. So a lot of information to unpack in that little video, right? So we're looking at a superpower, America, which that's where most of us live in America. we're seeing this superpower, last super strength, being weakened. That is the dollar, right? Been able to slap people around with the dollar. Hey, if you don't want to do what we say do, we will sanction you, right? Then we got another one, war, right? Which, hey, that's a little bit more difficult when you're going to fight Russia and China and things of that nature, right? So something to think about. So what am I going to do personally? Am I going to throw my hands up in the air? I'm going to stick my head in the sand, or am I going to begin to diversify my portfolio and my holdings outside of the United States of America, right? Am I going to start buying in Africa, in Asia, and things of that nature, right? These are questions that you want to ask yourself, right? I am still of the persuasion that, and I don't think I'll see the dollar totally collapse in my lifetime, right? But you got to start worrying about the future generations, right? So listen, there's a conversation to be had around the kitchen table. Those who want to secure their financial future, these are some of the things that you should be talking about, looking at, being in tune, right? I know it's a hustle because a lot of people don't understand the American weight that we have, right? 8-10 hours a day going to work. Then the majority of our money is consumed in taxes and living expenses and insurance, right? It's incredible to live in America. Even though it's a developed country, most people are not doing well financially speaking because of all these expenses, right? So I have, Brother William, I have you in the chat here. I'm going to bring you up. If you want to say something, join the conversation, you are able to. William, can you hear me? Brother Cox?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
And I think your points are well taken, because what has to happen, based on what you showed us last week, relative to what was going on with Iran and the deal that was being broken, the peace deal that was being broken, and then listening to the brother on CNN today. These are the signs of the times. It was interesting to me, I guess, from a biblical perspective. This is already foretold. So it's not like I'm not surprised by any of this. This was par and parcel of what was spoken about, and there are other things that are still yet to come. However, it would behoove us to take a very serious look at how our money is invested and where we should look at other alternatives to putting it into, and monitoring it very closely, because it's a very the way I see it, it's sitting on the verge of something that could be conceived as chaotic and very unstable. I think in the end, I'm going to probably, even with a weakening dollar, I think I'm going to pretty much still rely on that dollar as opposed to anything else, because who's to say if they're having this much of a problem trying to get things to stabilize so they could weaken us even more, and they're not having a lot of success with it, I'd be looking at that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So those countries, let's just say, who they are: China, Russia, India, Brazil, South Africa. So even though they represent over half of the population on the planet, they don't represent the majority of the money, right? So let me kind of break down what 60% of the money in the reserves, in the world reserves, American dollars look like, right? So the national gross domestic product is about $52 trillion, right? So in America, we represent let's get this number right. 23 trillion dollars we produce domestic products out of America, right? So that means almost half of the world's production come from here. Not only do we produce it from here, then we control 60% of the money.
That's it.
Come on, man.
That's it.
You got a long way to go before you start hitting hard.
Exactly.
So the economy here is what it is, and then we're controlling 60% of the rest of the world with our dollars.
And in addition to that, JP, my wife was talking to a sister from, I forget what country in Africa she's from, and she was saying that, she said there was a guy who was pushing that whole thing that we were looking at last week, and he got killed trying to push that in the country, I think that she was from. I forget where she's from.
Gaddafi.
Yeah,
Libya.
Right. And she said the majority of the countries over in Africa are going to stand pat with the U.S. dollar. There may be some that may opt to go in a different way. She said, but they trust that dollar,
Absolutely.
and and what it does for them. So again, I think we're not in a negative situation. Media has a tendency to try to spin things in such a way to create. I don't want to use the word panic.
Yeah,
but
fear,
panic, all of that.
Yeah.
When you step back and you look at it, you're like, however, and you go from there.
So here's the deal. Most of us Americans, and I see your comment, Brother Bradley. He says that we definitely need to give serious attention to this issue. Too many times as consumers, we are passive on these matters, right? So the most of us are unaware of, as the brother pointed out in the talk, how American can use their dollars as a superpower, right? So that's because 60% of the money in the world is based upon the American dollar, right? And come on now. So we're controlling the gross domestic product. We're producing almost half of that, $23 trillion a year. The rest of it comes from most European countries, right? So now the euro, Germany, and all these other places, they're not going to fight against the United States in this dollar, right? So once again, the only reason that I'm bringing out this news is to tell us that we need to get serious about life, about the international reality, that this is no longer local phenomenon, right? That I am going, we've been impacted by job losses for decades, companies shipping jobs, manufacturing jobs to other countries. Come on now. It's time for us to wake up and sort of thinking, how can I move internationally? What can I do for myself and for my family and for my community internationally? Where can I, do international business, at, right? Can I go to Panama and on the canal where all that commerce is coming through there, set up me a store, right? Get the stuff in Panama, ship it back to America, something, right? Some of drop shipping and this and that. You got to go get to the product. Be like Frank Lucas, right? You got to go to the source, right? So this is what's happening. This is what's going on, right? So we're once again we're building our YouTube channel because we want to bring some different perspectives about what's going on in the world, in the financial world, and what we need to do as Black people to be more aware of how we can move and things of that nature. Right. One of the things that's killing me is that we have $1.6 trillion of spending that we do in America. We don't capitalize on that at all. That's more gross domestic product than Russia. They should be fearing us like they fear Russia, but we want work together. I heard this young rapper, I think his name Damon Dash, he was with Jay-Z. He said the only thing that we have not tried, we didn't try everything. We didn't try education, we didn't try politicians, we didn't try churches. The only thing that we have not tried is working together. Well, let's try that, right? Let's try working together, right? So we're not going to be long-winded on this live. We just wanted to come in and let you know I don't think the dollar is done, right? We got some more time, so I'm trying to get as many of them dollars as I can, right? So don't be alarmed. All these countries are buying up gold, getting their gold back. It's not that much gold in the world, right? 55% of all the gold that's ever been unearthed out of the grounds come from South Africa, right? And so that's an 8-meter tall statue. So guess where that gold is at? It's in the UK, in Britain. They take it out of the ground there, and they take that gold and they put it back in the ground over in Britain. Does that make any sense? Yeah. So does that, because gold, silver, because you got that metal. Gold, silver, right? Does it make it more valuable than my dollar? No. The only thing what makes this valuable is what I decide. If I say, Brother Cox, I will wash your car, and I need 2 of these, right? Yeah. So you pay me 2. It's an exchange instead of saying you're gonna come and wash your car and you give me a chicken. That's all this is for, to exchange, to do commerce one with another, right? So you're gonna tell me some stuff that I take out the ground, right? And then go put it somewhere else in the ground has more psychological value. That's all that is, right? It's psychological value. This is based upon the value that we assign to it, right? That's all. Yeah. So we're just talking now, brother. Brother Will. Only body in here being you. You can come in. I'm through with my dissertation. But
yeah. All right. So, yeah. It's great information. First of all, all the information that you provided over the last, year, over a year now, has been really good information, good food for thought. Somebody was telling me the other day that they had seen you on YouTube and caught and took a look at some of the videos and whatnot. And I said, you're gonna get some good information if you listen, and that you're in there digging and unearthing things is great, because what it does is it makes us that are paying attention to what you're telling us look at some things and rethink things and say, well, maybe I should look at this. Or maybe I should look at that. I hadn't considered this.
Right.
Just looking at the election in Chicago, look at all the people that thought for sure that Paul Vallas was going to win.
Right.
And it turns out that the elderly people, such as myself, because you're still a young man.
Right. I appreciate that. Take all
Yeah, I'll
compliments.
collect from you on that one on the other side.
Right,
But,
right, right.
I mean, they didn't vote from what they were saying, but a lot of young people voted.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we wake up today and Brandon Johnson is the new mayor of Chicago.
The
Now, what's
mayor of
going to be
Chicago.
interesting is to see how does that play out, in terms of things that need to get done. And, people talk about crime in America, and the bottom line on crime, as far as I'm concerned, is this,
Mm-hmm.
you can relate to this, JP. When we were growing up, man, there was a whole different mindset in the black community as related to discipline, as
Mm-hmm.
related to a sense of community, as
Right.
related to that saying about it takes a village to raise a child. See, nowadays, it doesn't take a village to raise a child because don't nobody want to raise children.
Right. Right.
They don't want to have anything to do with it. And until men get back in their position of being the heads of households,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the black community,
Right.
you're not going to see any change in anything, crime, anything.
Yeah.
You can't expect the police and all these other people to raise your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And for the brother to say, yeah, why don't we try working together? Well, if the fathers get back where they belong, we have a better chance of doing that. And if we
Right.
do that,
Right.
Lou Palmer told us back in 1970 when Old Man Daley was elected that
Mm-hmm.
he was elected by a smaller margin than there were unregistered black voters in Chicago.
Wow.
And
Mm-hmm.
about 16 years, no, it wasn't even 16 years later,
Mm-hmm.
Harold Washington was elected.
Right.
Because a lot of those unregistered black voters got registered.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's what, and so that's working together, right? And so we're gonna have to do that financially, and the displacement of the man. Don't want to go too far off the dollar topic because we can definitely do a live stream because I'm gonna do more. We can choose a topic to talk about politics. Like I told you, want to talk to married men who are married successfully, who love the black community, want to see it do well again, who have seen it at its apex, right? And then saw it decline, right? So we definitely going to put a show together about that. But we want to tell you, hold on to your dollars. Get very serious about getting you some, right? I'm not promoting capitalism or anything like that, but you can help me out. I think it was Solomon said that money answers all matters.
It does.
Yeah,
it absolutely does.
We need some money. So yeah, thanks for always being faithful watcher and tuning in with me.
For sure.
We definitely appreciate that.
And I subscribe to you on YouTube, so it's and I'm looking at it when I go in there and I see, I'm like, I be subscribed to it, so I just want to make sure. But
did you see that comment that came from? He put it in the private chat.
Talking about Derek?
Yeah. Yeah.
About the passivity, the comment. I replied to it, and what I said was I agree about our passivity.
Okay.
And it's imperative that we pay attention to what is going on around us. We cannot afford to be passive about anything in our lives in times like these.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. It's way time to get serious. And so we appreciate it. We're going to be doing this Wednesday. I'm thinking about doing a broadcast on Friday evening. All right. So we're going that way, this will be the money topic.
Okay.
Here,
okay.
Right? Then Friday, we could discuss politics, family, religion, world religion, because like I said, this is an international world. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna end this broadcast because we got some Christians that's playing with bowls.
Okay.
Making them sounds, talking about that's
Oh, okay. Okay.
we've been influenced all over the world from everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. So we can talk about politics.
Man.
We can talk about world religion. We can talk about how
Right.
that's influenced
Mm-hmm.
some basic uh, Bible people like you and I. You know,
Yeah.
So we're talking about those type of
It's
things.
all good, man. Just keep it flowing, JP. Keep it flowing, man.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I'm telling people to go on YouTube, check you out.
Appreciate
Hopefully
it.
they're doing that and
Yeah,
subscribing. I'm gonna promote you as much as I can wherever I can,
appreciate it.
and because people need to hear what you're sharing.
Thank you, brother. So once again, like Brother Cox said, subscribe, comment, like, share, do all those things. We're trying to grow this channel, and we're going to be. I'm in the lab studying new stuff and looking at things, and that's what I'm saying, because we read a lot, study a lot, look at things, and then it just comes to us from a different perspective, from a black man's perspective, right? And to make some things complicated, make them simple. All right, brother Derek.
Okay.
Thanks for the comments. Thanks for coming into the live. We appreciate you, brother, all the time.
All right now.
Okay. All right. Bye
Take
for
care.
now.